Tonight, there's a public outcry in Texas after another deadly police shooting. This weekend, a white police officer shot and killed a black woman inside her own home in Fort Worth.
Video, Arbery is seen jogging towards two men with guns who are stopped in a white pickup truck. Shots are fired, and you see the young black man fall to his death.
I didn't do it for a pity. I didn't do it for fame. I did it so that the world knows that these police are not here to protect and serve us. They are here to assassinate us. They are here to kill us because we are black.
Back with another video, and I wanted to start out this video by saying thank you to the subscribers that have subscribed to the channel and supports the channel and the content that's being put out. I appreciate y'all very, very much, and do not forget to hit the notification button. So with that being said, there's a few things I want to get into and some things I want to get off my chest, and one of the things I want to talk about, and one of the things I want to talk about is the history of race, the genetics and the science behind race or racism. I feel, of my personal opinion, that when we're dealing with racism, when you're dealing with hatred and that type of systematic genocide, emotional and mental genocide, you're dealing with the spirit. And not only are you dealing with the spirit, you're dealing with genetics. So I believe racism is not only a disease, but it's genetic. It's inside of the DNA. And there is some things and some evidence that I want to point out and that I want to show and talk about that kind of verifies what I'm saying. Even if you look at a child, let's say a mixed child, biracial child, a child that's half white or half black, there is recessive genes and dominant genes that are fighting within that child's body. So even on a molecular level, the body or the DNA is fighting for recessive and domination, or dominant genes and recessive genes. So there's a war going on even in your bloodstream, even in your DNA. With that being said, I want to look at the spirit of hatred, the spirit of murder, the spirit of killing, the spirit of genocide. And I want to look at the roots and the origin of that spirit. It's a satanic and a demonic spirit. And I want to look at the origins of that and show y'all, kind of delve into that and point out some things. Just who is or what is this spirit of murder, this satanic spirit? And what is the origin of it? And so when I look at that, or when I investigate that, or when I go to search that, I find not just in the Bible, but I go back a little further and I find in history and hieroglyphs back in ancient Egypt. And when I look back at ancient Egypt, and when I look back at ancient mythology, there's a god, or there's a divine being or a deity that's called Set in ancient Egypt. And this deity or this god was the god of evil. Now this is interesting. The stuff that I'm about to read, it said touregypt.net. And so when I'm about to read about this god Set, not only was he a god of chaos, a god of evil, a god of darkness, a god of storms and conflict, but the Egyptians made it apparent to talk about the skin color, the hair color of this particular god. So this was their devil, this was their Satan. And so let's kind of look into it and go over it a little bit. And it reads here, Egypt, Set, god of storms, slayer of Apep. And later on he becomes Apep, but we'll get into that a little later. And it says he's equal to and rival of Horus. So I'm gonna go down here a little bit, and this is something, there's two things I want to read here. This is very important. Now it says he was also believed to have white skin and red hair, with the Egyptians comparing his hair to the pelt of a donkey due to his association with red. So this god of evil, this god of chaos, the Egyptian Satan, the devil of the ancient world, is associated with red. His hair is red and his skin is white. And it says red animals, even people with red hair, thought to be his followers. These animals were sometimes sacrificed. So the animals were sacrificed and killed because of their association with his color, his skin color and his hair color. And so down below, there's a little section too I want to read. It's from the pyramid text, spell 356. This is very important. It says, he has put him beneath you so that he can lift you up. He will groan beneath you as an earthquake. This is talking about the battle between Horus and Set. So in this piece, it says he was put beneath the feet of Horus. It says he has put him beneath you so that he can lift you up. He will groan beneath you as an earthquake. That's very biblical, because even in the Bible, in Romans 16:20, we hear that Satan is crushed beneath our feet. Again, Satan is crushed beneath our feet. So we have that same imagery, that same depiction of the devil or Satan or the adversary, the persecutor of the righteous or God's chosen people, is crushed beneath our feet. And here in the Egyptian pyramid text, we see that the Satan of Egypt with white skin and red hair is beneath the feet of Horus, so that Horus can be lifted up. The Bible also talks about, I believe in Genesis 3:15, that the seed of the serpent and the seed of man and the seed of the woman would war against one another. It says there will be enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will crush your head and you will strike his heel. Again, he will crush your head, meaning that Satan is beneath our feet. So as we investigate or we look at these sources, what we understand is that the ancients, they had a face for evil, or a face for the devil, and that this evil is often identified with people of European descent or European groups in particular. Another thing I want to point out, the similarities between the Torah and the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, is the story of Cain and Abel, a brother who murdered another brother. Now in this story, the murdering brother, when you look at the Egyptian tale, is Set, the same god of evil, the same god depicted with red hair and white skin. What's significant about this story is that as Set murders Osiris, Osiris is depicted with black skin. So again, you have the image of a white man or a white god who is the god of evil and chaos, killing the innocent righteous man, or the righteous god who is depicted as a black man in Egyptian hieroglyphics. We often hear there's nothing new under the sun, and in this case there's nothing different. This situation, this race situation, goes back to the dawn of civilization, and in my opinion it probably goes back way before that, way before civilization. I'm talking about Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, and how one group competed against the other group, and how there was violence between both groups. Because when you look at certain science articles, in those articles it states how Neanderthals had the MC1R gene, which is a gene for pale skin and red hair. So it's many layers to this that I can't cover in just one video. I'll probably make a follow-up video to this subject and situation and talk about the other cases and how everything is interrelated. But until then, you guys stay tuned. Again, subscribe, like, and comment, and hit that notification button. Thank you guys for watching this video, and thank you guys for stopping by the channel.
Says the American devils, the lynching, the killing, cutting the black people's private out, sticking it in the mouth, is what the dead does. Got a book called 100 Years of Lynching, written by white men. Taking black women who was 4 months pregnant, they took us for years and hung us up at the feet and stuck a dagger in her stomach and ripped it and pulled the unborn baby out just to put fear in other slaves.